Hey guys and gals, welcome to another episode of Let's Color with Nathan. That's me. And we're coloring more of a template AV. Yeah, I decided just to concentrate on 2 pages for today. Just continuing on. I had to just trying to hope to get to 4, but I think we'll just cut it down to 2. Just because time permitting, I guess. It's taking a bit longer than anticipated. But we got these scenes. We're going to start in the backgrounds. And we're just kind of picking up where we left off from the first template graphic novel. I'm just grabbing my dry block brush. And it's the only brush I'm using for the whole book. On the original graphic novel, I was using 2 different brushes, but I wasn't too thrilled with the way it looked, especially like on the dry brush I was using on people. I thought it could have looked better when I saw the finished book in graphic novel in print. So I'm just gonna go with the dry block brush. Which I've been pretty happy with the results I've been getting so far. So that's how it goes sometimes. You just got to make adjustments. Let's see. So we're getting into these greens here, and you can see a little bit more, as it gets warmer, colors as well. So yeah, I'm not going into like crazy amounts of detail on the backgrounds or anything, just kind of adding some texture in there and indicating the light sources. Again, because that's not our main focus for this. Main focus is going to be like these characters walking right here, having a conversation. If you're not sure where your focus should be, it's always nice to have a script, a finished script from the writer. Sometimes you'll just have basic actions. It's not a full script where you have dialogue and everything like that. It just might be, lady and guy walking down the street or something, which doesn't give you a whole lot of information, but should be enough. Like, okay, so the focus is going to be on those two. Even that little bit's better than nothing. But yeah, if you don't have that information, like, make sure you ask your writer or your editor. If you're coloring the book for somebody else, and hopefully if you're the one writing the book and doing all the artwork yourself, you should have that information, hopefully. And to help with the composition, where the eye should focus and everything. So just adding like a little highlight here at the top, just kind of indicate where the light source should be coming from here. Get that color. I forgot to do this little bit down here. I was going for really a rough look, matching the roughness of the art. It's one of our important bits about the coloring job is to help sell the artwork and make it look like one complete unit. You don't want to take anything away from it. So yeah, it's looking all right. Let me get a little bit warmer color here. And I have like a gradient map on top of it. And what this does, I have it set to overlay at 40%, and it's overlaying this purple over the dark tones, and this orange over the lighter tones, and this blue and the green like in the mid tones. It just kind of helps tie everything together, if I can talk, together, and gives it an interesting look. It's like a neat little trick I like to use. Yeah, it's looking better. And that's just me hitting, just tapping away on my on the glass of my Cintiq. That's what you hear. I have people ask a lot if I use a mouse, and like, no, that's that's me just tapping away with my sponge brush, and it gives me like a lot of these like nice, neat textures. And I have this I don't know, tile something separated here on my flats layer, so I'll switch over to that and select that color real quick. And what that does, it allows me to go ahead and add that texture on everything, and then I can adjust go back to my color layer, and I can just adjust that, make it a little bit darker, you know, add a little bit more interest to it. I'm not going to go too dark with it. I think it looks good. Oops. I'm going to hit Command B on my keyboard, Control B for your PC users out there. It's going to add a little bit of blue to it, a little bit of cyan. Yeah, maybe a little bit of magenta. It's going to add a, you know, a little bit of a darker color to it, and it's going to look cool. Also, what I'm going to do, I'm going to jot myself a quick note so I remember, because there's going to be quite a few pages that I'm going to need that for. Set 0, -8, -21. So I'm just going to go hue set. Oh, wait, what was that again? 0, -8, -21. Oops. 0, -8, -21. And I just have like a little arrow pointing to it so that whether I know what it's calling out to. And then I did a color balance. And it's -12, -4, +7. I'm not going to remember that. -4, -7. See, I forgot it. Oops, that was totally wrong. All right, we'll do this. We'll change that to plus. I can't believe I was so off. Wow. Is that correct? -12, -4, plus. Okay, we got that. All right. Now, what I think I did though. Yeah, I accidentally did it to everything. That wasn't right. Okay, so color balance -12, -4, +7. Now I remember it. Okay. So that's good. We have that note for later on for our adjustments. I could have just done an adjustment layer, but I kind of want to keep this clean. I don't want to have too much going on in here. And that's fine. We just have that note. That way we'll remember that for later. Alright, so let's go back up. These guys here aren't going to be that important. I don't want to darken it too much, that gets lost. But I don't want to call too much attention to it either. So, oops, actually like deselecting. I'm just going to go in with that same sponge brush. I'm just gonna lightly just kind of paint in some stuff, you know, a little bit of highlights here and there. You can kind of see what it looks like with that adjustment layer on there. That gradient map. These screens here should be orange. So let me go ahead and select those real quick. Because I have my flats, I could just wand those two. Oops. Turn that off, make sure I get that true color there, and add that to my flats in case I need that later. I'll make sure it's the same color of the flats. Alright, so we got that. these other components here. Okay, I'm just gonna lighten it just a tad. Here's the current color I have. Here's my new color. It's gonna bring it up, lighten it a little bit, and a little bit to the right to saturate it a little bit more. You know, I don't want to go too crazy. Again, because it's not our focus. You know, if we're supposed to be looking at the screen, then I would add more attention to it, but it doesn't matter. Same thing with all these wires and doodads here. Not the focus. Oops. I lost it there for a second. One thing I like about this this brush a lot is you can get, you know, really loose and painty with it, you know, and the harder I push down on it, you know, the more color it's going to give me. And it's a great thing about working with a tablet, you know, over working with the mouse. You get a lot more of a real media feel to it. You know, working with paint or whatever. Oops. Let's add a little bit of a rim on that. And kind of lightly get in here. Again, it's not the main focus. We're just kind of pulling it forward a little bit from that background, just to help add more depth. Got a little crazy, so I'm just going to dull that down a little bit. Let's see. For all these crazy people, how? Because again, don't want to bust out each individual person. It's going to take too long. You know, we have to keep a schedule. I don't want to getting too lost in the background. I'm going to stick with what I got, and then we can just adjust it. What I'm going to do, let me hide those ants for you. Get a lighter color. We'll add like a rim light on everybody. That'll help separate them all. And the light wouldn't work like this. It's, you know, a little cheaty way, but it works very nice. It's one thing I learned over the years. You know, I used to get stuck in modes where, you know, oh, well, light doesn't act like that, and, you know, especially when it's coloring comic books, and you know what, it just, well, it wouldn't be flying people either, you know, it doesn't act like that either, so I had to, you know, a cave would be, you know, either gray or brown. I didn't want to do, you know, red lighting inside of a cave. That didn't make any sense to me. And, you know, I'd always get letters back from my editors, you know, hey, do this, and it's like, oh, that's not the way it's supposed to be, and, you know, I find myself back in ruts, but, you know, I got to give the client what they want, and over the years, you know, just got more used to it, and it's not really about being realistic. You know, it's about drawing the eye where you want it to go. You know, thinking more as a painter and not just a colorist. You know, adding bits of interest here and there. And definitely have a lot more fun with it, you know, thinking that way as opposed to the way I used to do it. One of the other benefits of kind of, I guess you'd call it cheating it. This way is like we don't have to worry about like, okay, what color, what's this little bit right here? Like I can't make that out. Whose arm is that? You know, we don't have to worry about that too much. No need to stress about it. Alright, so we got that done. Now we're just gonna go in with our a little bit lighter shade. I say a little bit lighter, it's still kind of dark. Kind of render, you know, just a little bit here and there. No need to get super detailed or anything like that, because again, it's not our main focus. There's a couple of ways you can add depth to a piece. You know, hue. Reds are going to come forward, blues are going to go back. You do saturation. Things that are more saturated are going to come forward. Desaturated, you know, grayish objects are going to be pushed back to the horizon. Same thing, detail. You know, things that are more detailed are going to be, you know, more in the foreground. So you kind of want to keep those three things in mind as you're coloring or doing your digital painting. You can see I'm not spending a whole lot of time worrying about, you know, what's what. That's fine. Alright, so I think what we can do now, I have my gradient map on. That way there we can see what the final color is going to look like. Go and play around with it a little bit. Let's see. Let me cancel that. I'm going to try something. Let's go with the shadows first. We'll darken those up. Get some purples going on, so it's going to be like cyans, a little bit of blue, a little bit of magenta, and then we'll go to the highlights. Maybe we'll warm those up some, see how that looks. Gotta play with it. Let's lighten it. Darken the shadows some. Yeah, I think that works. I do want to kind of go in there, line up the eyeballs, lenses, whatever they have. So I think that'll look pretty interesting. Let's have a bunch of glowing eyes back here. Looks like they're all pretty much wearing goggles. Oh yeah, that looks kind of cool. So small little things like this, you know, you can see I didn't flat these guys all the way out. It's just, you know, just the group of people as a whole. You know, you can just go in and color in those eyes. It's not going to kill you. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let's see, I need this handle here. Let's do these guys first. And wouldn't you know it, I forgot to check the time on the video again. So that looks pretty good. And the handle, again, just bringing it up and a little bit to the right. That's just going to lighten it up and give me a little bit more saturation in the color. Lighten it up a little bit more. Nah, I didn't like that. Blend that in a little bit better. Yeah, looks good. All right, gotta do this monitor here. Just check my other one. Yeah, I had like a little bit of the orange coming in, so I'll probably do that on this monitor here. All right, and let me see. Go. I just want to add a little bit more depth in here with these guys. You know, not going too crazy or anything. Pick that color. Get on the right layer. Did I not? Now there it goes. All right. It's going to hit the edges of this guy. A little bit in the middle. Let's see. Yeah, these guys here don't really have a monitor. It's just like a kind of like floating screens, so it is going to look a little bit different. But let's see how they look. That's my notes. Yeah, I mean, I think we can tell it's supposed to be in the same area. I'm going to go on these areas here. Go a little bit darker with it, I think. Maybe add a little bit of blue. Nah, that's too much. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Not too fussed. I know I was saying I was hoping to get both of these done, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. And we'll just get the backgrounds done on both, I think. Time is always seems to be an issue here. But I think it makes it a bit easier. We don't have to worry about you know, switching brushes or anything. That'll save us some time. I'm just picking colors for what I'd already established over here. That's pretty close. And then I need that highlight color. And then we had our adjustments that we had made. Let's see, here we go. So we hit Command U or Control U on a PC to bring up your hue saturation dialog box. You just hit Tab or bring us to these cells. Again, like instead of having to mouse over it, select it, and just hit your Tab. Set 0, hit Tab again, and you just type in -8, -21. So that darkened it to that, and then Command B or Control B for a PC to bring up your color balance. And again, we have our highlighted field, so we're just going to type in -12, hit Tab, so it shifts over to the next field, -4, and then +7. And yeah, those colors match up pretty good. Alright, so there's that. We got this electronic wire mess we're gonna deal with here. Again, not gonna, you know, give it too much crazy rendering or anything like that. Just keep it real loose. Not too fussed about the details because it's not important. this guy and the monitors. Just going to give it a little bit of the business on the in the middle portion here. So give it some rendering, and then we'll go in with this orange. That'll help make it glow a little bit more. A little bit on that tip right there. Why not? I'm gonna do it right there too. Pick that color. It's really hard to tell the difference between this color right here and this color, but when I have that the gradient map on, you can tell there is some rendering there. So yeah, it's just gonna be subtle. And we had the same thing over here when we had a monitor that I didn't see in the flats. So I'm going to do that, add that to my flat layer as well, in case I need to pick that out later on. Let's see. That was that color. Just adding some texture to it. These monitors now look like they're really falling into the background. These ones. So let's lighten them up a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Except I don't like these guys popping out so much. So even if these monitors don't match up to the other ones, like exactly, that's fine. It doesn't always have to. I'm gonna pull these guys out as well. Those would be underneath the TV, or the monitor, excuse me. So those would be darker. So let's go ahead and push those back into the background. Yeah. And this part of this monitor, I want to darken that. So I should have had these set aside as part of the set aside on the flat, so I don't have to go in and reselect that all the time. But you know, it's not too big of a deal, so I'll let it slide. I'll let myself slide on that one. Alright, and I'm going to darken up just that part of the very background right here. Yeah, looks pretty good. And that's going to do it. No, not yet. I always end up doing that. Like, yeah, I'm done. No, I'm not done. Never mind. These guys, yeah, that should be good. So I want to add a little bit of a lip. Can I do that? That color, okay. For some reason, color didn't pick up. That'll look good on there. Let's get a little bit of an edge on that. Yep. Alright, that's good enough. Oh, I should color those guys. Gosh. It's always something, huh? Alright, so we have these colors figured out. So let's go ahead and do that. Got my highlight. Alright, still got it selected. Cool. It's not going to take too long. And, you know, just pretend there's a light source coming from above. You know, just generic lighting. This guy here looks pretty bored. And the other color. I don't know what you call it. It's not really a mid-tone, really. Let me turn that on. A little bit too much, especially for underneath the arms. Don't want it that bright or anything. All right, and almost in white. Probably, no, it isn't. Yeah, pretty close. Almost as close as you get it to a white without it being white, I guess. Again, we'll just do the glowing eyeballs. I don't think we'll put like an actual glow on it, like above the line art. So again, don't want to call too much attention to it. So I think that should be fine. And with that, let me see. Let me turn that off. Don't want to send it to send it off like that for approval. You know that'll come back and get you. Oops, wrong page. This one. I do want to add that orange glow to this monitor now. I did like the way that looked. Yeah. I think that'll do it for this episode. Next episode, we'll get to rendering the figures. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'd like to say hello to all the new subscribers, and also hello to everybody that's been subscribed for the longest time. I really appreciate it. You know, you people taking an interest in what I do and curious about learning it for yourself. Yeah, if you like what you see in the videos, Hit that like button or leave a comment if you have any questions or just a comment. Let's see, there's a Facebook fan page. It's facebook.com/lummage1. That's the number 1. And you can check out more of my color work on DeviantArt. It's lummage.deviantart.com. I'll put those links in the description for you guys, and also for Quentin, the writer-creator of this project, over at qamcomics.com. So you can check out not only template stuff, but some of the other projects he has going on as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, because there usually is. But I'll end it here. You guys have a fantastic evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time of day you're watching it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.